For this project, the set theme was union. I began by creating a mind map to explore connections between union and textiles. This helped me identify many possible links, such as layering, cultural fusion, and historical revival. I initially focused on cultural fusion and historical revival as they reminded me of a piece by Jean-Paul Gaultier that blends traditional cultural clothing with modern fashion. This inspired me to research forgotten tribes and peoples, particularly their clothing and mask patterns, which reflect unique cultural identities. To deepen my understanding of modern fashion, I reflected on the clothes I wear and recorded myself discussing them. This helped me identify key modern designs and features I could incorporate. I also visited the Shibuya district and photographed shopfronts, which gave me a better sense of current fashion aesthetics and urban retail environments. While I was initially focused on clothing, I found myself increasingly interested in the visual impact of the shopfronts themselves. Still wanting to include elements of historical fashion, I turned to the Codex Mendoza, a book that documents Aztec culture. The garments in the book stood out to me for their bold shapes and vibrant colors. I experimented with capturing these qualities using colored. Then, inspired by artists Carol Walker and William Kentridge, I explored the use of silhouettes and cutouts based on Aztec figures. This led me to discover another artist called Vivian Sassen, who edits their photographs with geometric shapes. Inspired, I created my own cutouts and layered colored acetate shapes over them, creating physical filters that transformed the visuals. These geometric experiments made me think of Kandinsky, whose layered precise shapes inspired me to explore compositions and balance. However, I eventually found purely geometric forms too limiting for my shop from concept. I began using less structured objects like forks, knives, and other utensils, which I scanned and digitally manipulated. This allowed me to layer vibrant colors and forms in more organic ways. Later, I returned to geometric shapes, this time using acrylic paint to experiment with color layering. These trials were successful and created interesting visual outcomes. Finally, I experimented with layering my geometric shapes over the expressive flowing artworks of Marley Freeman and Helen Frankenthaler. This contrast between structured shapes and free-form color helped me explore the union of different artistic styles and visual languages. Although working with geometric shapes was a valuable experience, I eventually wanted to move in a different direction. This led me to research the artist Millie Gifford, who creates paintings using organic shapes and vibrant colors. She often contrasts these colors with black to make the shapes stand out more boldly. I was particularly drawn to this quality and wanted to incorporate it into my own work. Over the spring break, I created 40 individual outcomes, each based on a unique object like clothes, backpacks, and other personal items. These explorations naturally led me to discover the work of Emilio Pucci, a fashion designer known for his immersive and dynamic patterns, and Rihomi Sato, an artist who creates layered textile based works using acrylic and fabric. Their influence gave me a new idea to cut out my shapes and arrange them into layered compositions, similar to Sato's tactile textile work, but with patterns reminiscent of Pucci's bold designs. I began turning my composition into stencils, which allowed me to reproduce and develop the shapes more consistently. To bring texture and variation to each shape, I used a variety of media, including paint, pastels, and chalk. I also incorporated embroidery and hand sewing, giving each cutout a unique surface quality and adding depth and craftsmanship to the final outcomes. This piece explores the collision between urban order and natural chaos. The wooden frame represents a shopfront, or society structure trying to hold everything in. The colorful, free-form shapes made show creativity and nature pushing back against those limits. But it's not just about conflict or contrast. There's also a sense of connection. Even though the elements are different, they are linked by threads and shared space, showing how opposites can come together. This reflects how man made and natural structures can exist side by side. What I would like to invoke in my piece is that even in a controlled environment, creativity and individuality can grow and occur.